In this video, I'm going to talk about Balinese destinations. This is a paradisiacal place in Indonesia that is certainly on the list of travelers around the world. The Balinese attractions will always make a great trip for all types of travelers, whether you're backpackers traveling alone, with friends, couples, and even families looking for a good hotel structure and resorts. I have listed the 12 top-rated tourist attractions in Bali. I'm sure you'll want to visit on your trip. Ubid Bali. I confess that Ubid is my favorite area in Bali. This is because here you can find the local culture in the most authentic way combined with a very pleasant atmosphere. Surrounded by forests, as well as unmissable Bali sights. You will definitely want to get lost in the streets and enjoy visiting some of the region's sites. And during your tour, you will pass several temples, and it is not difficult to find offerings in the streets of Ubid. They are part of the Hindu Balinese religion, very strong and present on the island. In the heart of Ubid, on the main street, I recommend you visit Ubit Palace. It is one of the most important places in the area, with traditional Balinese architecture and a charming garden. The place houses much of Bali's art, dance, and literature. Tana Lot is one of Bali's top attractions, especially at sunset. It's worth booking a sunset-guided tour of the Tana Lot Temple. But beware, this is obviously the time when everyone goes there. So the traffic is chaotic, and the journey can take hours. This temple is undoubtedly one of the most exotic on the island, as it was built on top of a rock formation right in the middle of the sea. The view is very beautiful both for those outside looking at the construction of the temple and for those going there, an action that is only possible when the tide is low. So it's worth checking before the tide times if you want to walk to the temple. Rice Terraces Jatilui. This is one of the attractions that I think is the most popular Indonesian. This is because, among some rice fields available in Bali for visitation, I like Jatiluwi's observation decks because it is located on top of a hill and surrounded by mountains. With this, when you are at the top of the rice field, you can catch a glimpse of the views from the terraces, the sunlight falling on the fields, and the mountains in the background. As if that wasn't enough, Jatilui is Bali's largest rice field and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I really think it's worth visiting because it's different from what we usually see in other tourist cities and because of its cultural importance for the country. Mount Batur. Just as I commented on rice terraces being a part of local life in Indonesia, so are volcanoes. And if you like to be in contact with nature, the tour to Mount Batur is a must. As it is one of the main Bali attractions in Bali, it was definitely one of the tours I enjoyed most on the island. At first, I was a bit reluctant to take the tour as it starts at 3 a.m. But when I was there at the top with the very affectionate local guides, having a typical breakfast and seeing the first lights of the day around the mountains and lakes of the volcano, the emotion hit, and I was very grateful for having left the laziness aside. Getting to Mount Batur is not easy, and I found the trail quite complicated to do alone. That's why I highly recommend that you hire one of the many tours available in Bali, especially at agencies in Ubid. Tours usually pick you up at the hotel, serve breakfast and even lend you a flashlight, which you'll need at the beginning of the trail at dawn. I just remember that you need moderate physical preparation for the trail. If you can't get to the top, there is an intermediate stop where you can also watch the sunrise with an incredible view. Monkey Forest. This is another unmissable Bali attraction, especially if you, like me, are a lover of monkeys. The famous monkey forest will be able to occupy your time thanks to hundreds of monkeys that live there undisturbed. Although the temptation to play with monkeys is very strong, remember that they are still wild animals. Therefore, always try to pay attention to your luggage. I witnessed how a monkey grabbed a slipper from a Chinese tourist and ran away into the forest with it. It was both funny and sad for the naked tourist. Therefore, Stay at a safe distance from them and be sure to attach anything like a camera to your body. Anything that can be grabbed, pulled out of you, for example, sunglasses, a water bottle, or a hat. Even sometimes slippers will be instantly stolen by the monkey. Monkeys grab everything they can from people. Uluwatu Temple. The main attraction for visiting the Uluwatu Temple is undoubtedly its location. It stands on the edge of a cliff over 70 meters high at one end of the island, ensuring a truly extraordinary look. Without a doubt, it is one of the main tourist attractions in Bali. The entire park is very beautiful and preserved and has incredible views of this region. Plus, it's still one of Bali's top places to see the sunset. It can be a great walk after the beach, as the Uluwatu region is surrounded by fantastic beaches such as Padang Padang, Tomas Beach, and Bingan Beach. Also, keep an eye out for the wild monkeys you'll run into there, as you won't want to see your belongings falling down the cliff. And like Ubid Palace, there is also a traditional Balinese dance performance here. The attraction here is the visual. The theater is open air, and you'll watch the dance with a view of the ocean in the background. Nangnang Waterfall. In addition to the famous and beautiful beaches, Bali also has amazing waterfalls, which, unlike the beaches, are still not so popular with tourists and are a delightful tour. Among the many waterfalls I've visited, Nangnang is one I can't leave out of this list of Balinese attractions. It's hard to think of how you can explain it, but think of a giant waterfall. Nice natural pools, and the water falling hard being the only noise you'll hear. It's just like a movie set. The 500 steps to get to the waterfall won't even get you tired because of how beautiful it is. Nangnang is about 35 kilometers from the center of Ubid. Temple. It is said that there are over 1 million temples in Bali. They're scattered all across the island, and every family has their own temple to worship at. Temple was one of my favorite places I visited because it's so beautiful here. There are people bathing under fountains as they pray by them too, which creates an environment where you can admire the beauty of this Hindu temple while learning about Balinese culture. Uluwatu Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches in Bali, popular with tourists and surfers. It is in front of a huge stone wall where there are some bars and restaurants that have a sensational view of the region. The beach has a kind of cave when you reach the sea, and it's a different and very beautiful place. During high and low tide, the appearance of Uluwatu Beach can vary greatly. The beach is usually visited by surfers because it has good waves, but also by many people who want to enjoy the wonderful view of this region. Uluwatu Beach is worth visiting on the same day as you visit Uluwatu Temple, as both are close. Seminic Beach is Bali's most spacious beach. Its shoreline spans for 3 kilometers, so the recreational options that are available for you never run out. You can play volleyball with other tourists, rent a bike and travel along the shore, go swimming, head to the wavy spots of the beach and surf, etc. The sunset is the highlight of Seminic Beach. Hang around and watch as the horizon and the sea adapts to the orange color of the sun. While watching this, get a fire ready because a sumptuous feast of roasted goods is an option before returning to the hotel. Kalinking Beach at Nusa Penida. There's no question that Bali boasts some of the world's most stunning beaches. Pristine white sands, clear sparkling water, all of those paradise must-haves. But there's one beach in particular that's garnered global fame, the ever-stunning Kalinking Beach. We've all seen that iconic bird's-eye view of the emerald green cliffline soaring into the sky from the turquoise waters below. Well, this Insta-famous spot is located on Nusa Penida. the neighboring island to Nusa Lembongan, and just a 40-minute boat ride from mainland Bali. Head to Kalinking Beach to get that all-important shot, but make time to explore the rest of the island too. Canggu is the epicenter of instalife in Bali, with tons of cool little cafes and restaurants with out-of-this-island interiors. And while it's not only the unique decor you'll want to snap here, like the selfie-famous mural at Old Mons, the food itself is so impressive, it's almost too pretty to eat too, almost. But back to those interiors. Check out the bohemian chic vista at the lawn, the architecture at Penny Lane that's dripping in alternative art, indoor palms and vintage chandeliers. Or the castaway vibes of La Brisa that's made up of reclaimed wood from more than 500 old fishermen boats, best enjoyed with a sunset backdrop, naturally.